In today's video, we will discuss about top 5 Fidelity index funds. So if you are someone who's looking to invest into index fund, then this video is perfect for you. Number one index fund on the list is called Fidelity Total International Index Fund, also known as FTIHX. By looking at the investment approach of this index fund, you will notice that this index fund basically invests across the world. That means it is basically providing you an exposure to a developed and emerging country stocks. So it is giving you a quite huge international geographic diversification. This index fund almost 80% invests into stocks which are listed on the MSCI All World Country Index excluding US. So by investing into FDIHX, you will have a quite diverse international geographic diversification. So by looking at the allocation of this index fund, you will notice that it has roughly 41% allocation towards Europe, 29% towards emerging markets, 15% towards Japan, 8% towards Canada, and 8% toward Asia Pacific, excluding Japan. So it has a quite diverse geographic diversification across different regions, across different countries. FTIHX was formed back in 2016 with the current size of $16.5 billion. The expense ratio of FTIHX is also very low, just 0.06%. That means investing $10,000 into FTIHX, you only have to pay $6 as an expense ratio for the entire year. Pretty good deal in terms of the expenses that you are paying for investing into this index fund. FTIHX has a stock holdings of 5,073 with the top stocks including Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, Tencent, Alibaba, Nestle, and so on and so forth. This index fund basically has delivered average annual return of 10.3% for the 5-year period. That means investing $10,000 into this fund would have returned about $16,352. Number 2 index fund on the list is called Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund, also known as FZROX. The investment approach of FZROX is to invest into stocks that are listed in the US stock markets. And these stocks not just include large cap, but it includes large cap, mid cap, and small cap stocks. FZROX was formed back in 2018 with the current size of $28 billion of assets under management. Now, the interesting thing that you have to notice about FZROX that it has 0% expense ratio. Yes, you heard it right. 0% expense ratio. FZROX has a total stock holdings of 2,576 with the top stocks including Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Meta, and so on and so forth. The index fund has generated about 16.1% average annual return for the past 5 years, which means investing $10,000 5 years ago would have worth roughly $21,057 today. Now moving to a third index in the Fidelity Index Fund family, this is called Fidelity Zero Large Cap Index Fund. So this index fund basically invests into large cap stocks listed on the stock markets. So if you are looking to invest only into large cap stocks, then you could consider this index fund. This index fund was formed back in 2018 with the current size of $13.5 billion. And again, in the case of Fidelity Zero Large Cap Index, it has a 0% expense ratio. Now, Fidelity Zero Large Cap Index has a total stock holdings of 511, with the top stocks include Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, and so on and so forth. This index fund has generated 16.5% average annual return for the past 5 years. Number 4 index fund on the list is called Fidelity Nasdaq Composite Index Fund. This index fund basically tracks the performance of Nasdaq Composite Index. You have to keep that in mind that Nasdaq Composite Index is tech heavy. Roughly 50% of the stocks in the Nasdaq Composite Index are basically from the tech family. So if you are looking to invest into US tech sector, then you can consider this index fund. The index fund was formed back in 2003 with the current size of $19.7 billion. The expense ratio is 0.3% and the total stock holdings of Nasdaq Composite Index are 2,718 with the top stocks again Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, and so on and so forth. Now looking at the performance, this index fund has generated 16.1% average annual return for the past 5 years. That means investing $10,000 back in 5 years ago would have worth roughly $21,113. Now moving towards our fifth index fund, Fidelity Total Market Index Fund. This index fund basically tracks the performance of Dow Jones US Total Stock Market Index. The fund was launched back in 1997 and the current size is $111 billion. The expense ratio is pretty low with just 0.015%. The fund has 3,816 stock holdings with the top allocation towards Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Broadcom, and so on and so forth. The fund has generated 15.9% average annual return for the past 5 years, which means investing $10,000 would have worth roughly $20,902. If the index funds that we discuss in this video basically meets your investment criteria, your investment goals, your investment risk and return profile, then you can consider these index funds for the future investment.